In this video, we're going to be finishing up the respraying of the trunk area. I've already done some more work since the last video, so let's jump right into this and I'll explain what's going on. What's up, y'all? Welcome back. If you're new here, welcome to the video, welcome to the channel. Like I said, we've already done some more work on this thing. I got everything covered in plastic, everything is all taped up, and we did a little bit more work in the trunk. Let me show you. Okay, so you might notice some little black spots, and you might be saying, didn't you spend the last video sanding out all the black paint? Yes, but that was crappy spray paint, and this is rust encapsulator. So I saw a couple spots in here that had a little bit of rust starting, I thought, so I went ahead and sprayed the rust encapsulator on there just to get it covered up, stop that stuff in its tracks. I didn't want to risk it. Like, it wasn't bad at all, but I just didn't want to take a chance. So I went ahead and sprayed it in a couple spots, got that taken care of, and so now all we got to do is scuff it up with some sandpaper, just a little bit, and we can lay down the primer. So I'm going to go ahead and begin doing that, and we can get to it and get this thing cleaned out again with some wax and grease remover and spray some primer. I'm just scuffing it up with some 320 grit here, super light, nothing crazy, just getting it a little bit scuffed up so it has a better adhesion. Okay, everything has been scuffed up, cleaned out. I went ahead and wiped down everything again. I didn't use wax and grease remover. I started to, but it looked like it was like starting to take off some of the rust encapsulator, like around the outside of where I sprayed. It could have been the dust, I'm not sure, but I didn't want to take a chance, so we used alcohol and just rubbed everything down, made sure everything was clean, vacuumed it one more time, and now let's start mixing up the primer and get the spraying. Our primer of choice is the Omni stuff that we used on the underside of the car, so we'll get that stuff poured in. We got the little spec sheet here, so we'll go through, mix everything. I think it's, if I remember right, it's 2 to 1. Yeah, 2 to 1. We'll get that mixed up, get it in the gun, let it do its 15-minute induction time, and then we'll lay down a coat into the trunk there. First, we gotta shake up the old primer. It's been sitting for quite a while. Okay, now we're gonna use our little cup here. We'll go over here to 2 to 1. It says 2 to 1 to 1, but we won't use this third line here, so go up to the 4, up to the next 4, and then we should be good to go. We'll let it do its thing. I might just go up to the 5 just for good measure. I've got a lot of this primer, so I'm not really worried about using it all. I may just go to the 6. Maybe we'll just do the 6 and call it good. I think that's gonna be plenty, like by a long shot, but yeah, never hurts. Now we go all the way up to the other 6 and right on the line. We'll stir that up and we'll start the timer, like I said, 15 minutes, and it should be good to spray. All right, we got the paint in the gun. I'm gonna try to put you guys right here, and I'm gonna try to stay out of the way as best I can, but got the fans on, everything's all good to go. Let's start spraying some primer, yeah? Do a little test spray here. Need to rotate this tip. All right, here we go. So I just dove right in and started spraying, and then I realized I forgot to plug up a couple holes there, so I had to get under the plastic and take care of that. So got under there, did that, plugged those up, and now we can start laying it down. And I tried to work from that back wall to the end of the trunk here, but after a certain point, you get all the primer in there, and you got to really watch that hose, make sure it's not dragging against things you just sprayed, especially once you're like inside of the trunk spraying. It's very, very tight in there, and that hose can bump up against things, rub things, and all that. So was able to keep that out of the way, and we got it taken care of. First coat down. Okay, so first coat is down. Went on pretty good. Had a few little hiccups there. I forgot to plug some holes with some tape and all that, so I had to do that real quick, take care of that. But yeah, everything went on fairly well. Let me show you. Everything looks super smooth in there. I tried to get it in as many nooks and crannies as possible. Got all the way up to that line like we wanted to up in there. Everything over into here, back up into there real good. And yeah, everything seems to be pretty covered. We'll wait another like 15-20 minutes for this to flash off, and then we'll lay one more coat on there. We'll let that set for a half an hour, and then we'll start laying on the blue. I think we can get to the blue today, so yeah, excited about that for sure. Oh, hey, you're still here. So did you know that statistically, if you're still here at this point in the video, you like what you're seeing? So if that is true, why don't you do me a big favor and hit that subscribe button down there? I'd appreciate that a ton. It would help the channel out a bunch, and yeah, appreciate it. All right, we got some more primer mixed up. It's been 15 minutes, so it's all good to go. Let's go ahead and put on coat 2. And this time we have a little bit of GoPro action. second coat is done and dusted. Check it out. I just love how epoxy primer looks after it's sprayed on, doing its thing there. It just looks so fresh, smooth, and new. Love it. It's looking so good. While we're waiting for it to flash off and dry enough for a top coat, let me explain what we were gonna do before we did all this with the gun. I was gonna use this 2K primer, this stuff here, and just spray it in there because I thought it was going to be a little bit too tight to use the gun in there to like maneuver it around, to maneuver it around and spray in there. But it was a little bit tight, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But in using the gun, we kind of are going to use like a mixed process thing here because I did order the T70 paint from Automotive Touch Up in an aerosol can because I wanted to try that. I've never done like an automotive quality paint or a base coat out of a spray paint can like that. So I wanted to try that, and I figured being in a can, it'd be a lot easier to maneuver around in there. So I went ahead and sprayed out the spray out card they sent me, and it looks like it matches pretty well. I mean, as it should. I mean, it is T70, so it is the electric blue color, so it makes sense that it would match up pretty well. So it's probably going to take a few coats. When I sprayed it on that spray out card, it looked like it was a little bit like, not transparent, but it's going to take some coats to get it on there. So we'll see where it goes. We got another like 10 minutes on the trunk to flash off here, and then we can spray the base coat on there. And so yeah, we'll hang out for that, but probably looking at like maybe 3 or 4 coats of the base coat on there, but we'll see. Okay, we should be good to go to spray the base coat on here. I'm gonna do like a small test area just to make sure, but seeing how lightly that sprayed onto that spray out card, I've only got 3 cans, so I'm probably gonna have to order some more to do the rest of the interior, but we'll see how far these 3 cans get us. Went ahead and sprayed it on this first part right here, and it seems to be doing good, so I'm going to go ahead and start spraying the first coat. I'm going to do like a light dusting coat to kind of get it on there and get the paint introduced to the primer, and then we can start laying on a little bit thicker once we go into the second and third coats. It says to only wait 5 or 10 minutes in between coats, so we should be good. Yeah, let's start spraying. This is actually laying down a lot darker than I thought it was going to based off of that spray card, so that was a plus. Okay, so that took exactly 1 can. I could not have sprayed another spot on there. So 1 can per coat, it sounds like. It laid on a little bit darker than I thought it was going to, so I'm going to use a second can for the second coat, and we'll see where we're at then. The only thing I'm concerned about is like tiger striping. I don't want it to look kind of dumb like that, so I'm going to try my best to keep spraying like the same direction and like kind of overlaying it and stuff like that, throwing that like 50% overlay with the sprays. So we'll just keep trying that, keep trying our best, and hopefully we won't have any tiger stripes. But we are putting sound deadening material all in that trunk anyway, so it might not be so bad if we end up having some. But anyway, 1 can is down. And we can wait for another, I don't know, 10 minutes. It's about 72 degrees today, so it's like right in the prime temperature to spray this stuff. So yeah, 10 minutes and then second coat. Depending on when you're watching this video, fall is in the air, and for us car people, that only means one thing. It's boost season, baby. I normally don't advertise the clothing brand that I have very much because I don't want to be just like a rolling advertisement, but I'm going to be a dad soon, and you got to do what you got to do, you know what I mean? So yeah, we have this boost season shirt up on the website now. There'll be a link in the description down below. We got long sleeves, hoodies, all that kind of stuff, lots of things to choose from with this design. I am super happy with how it turned out, came up with this idea, worked it out, and love the results. So if you guys want to check it out, there'll be a link down below. If not, that's fine too, but gotta say it. All right, it's been about 10 minutes. Coat 2 is going on. First coat is laid on and drying. And then we have the second and third coat. Looks so good. It is actually the next day, and that is the third coat of base coat we put on there, and it looks so good. We are waiting now to put the clear on there. I just did a couple little quick sprays to patch some things up, and so we're waiting on that to dry for the next 10 minutes, and then we'll put on the clear coat, and then this thing will be looking nice. I'm excited to see how the clear kind of brings out the metallics, because when the light hits it a little bit, you can kind of see a lot of the metallic in the paint. So hopefully with the clear, it'll make it pop, and so yeah, this thing looks awesome. All right, we just hit everything with a tack rag, and it should be all good to go. Now on the clear, we are going to be using the cans again with the 2K clear. This stuff should do really well on there, and so we'll go ahead, shake this up. We'll put this little plunger here into the bottom, and we will smack that thing down on there and make the 2K be 2K, and yeah, lay down the first coat. Okay, now we'll stick this thing on here, and we say, nice. This is after the first coat of clear. Just wanted to get it on there as with the base coat, just get it introduced, and it looks pretty dang good already. But this is after the second coat, and it looks way, way better. I'm not sure if you can tell a difference on the camera or not, but much, much better, and it looks fantastic. It looks so good. Like, honestly, I couldn't be happier. This thing turned out so, so good. Very, very pleased with how it came out of the aerosol can. I will say, I mean, I used just about as much as I would have normally. 3 cans of the automotive touch-up paint in the T70 electric blue was like right at a quart, and so we have a little bit left over in one of the other cans, so I used a quart for the engine bay. And so I don't know, I don't know if it would be more efficient or not. I feel like I would have used a lot less had I used it out of a spray gun, but I mean, if you have a small project or whatever, it'll get the job done, but you just have to be a little bit more careful about how you lay it on there, overlap everything, make sure there's no striping, this, that, and the other. But we had a couple little spots, well, I can't really tell now, so I guess they're gone. But yeah, I couldn't be happier. This thing looks super, super good. Granted, a lot of this is going to be covered up by sound deadening material, but I wasn't going to use all the clear. I was going to just like hit where you would probably see, but I didn't really know where you would see. So I decided to just go ahead and just spray everything, make it all look nice. And yeah, everything is super, super good. I'm already removing all the plastic and all that stuff, but yeah, this thing is awesome. I can't wait to get the sound deadening in there and see how it looks then. But yeah, this thing is just got a cure now. And so, I mean, just look at this spot right here. I mean, that is out of an aerosol can. And I mean, you can see the metallic, like the clear looks super good. Like, I'm just really, really pleased with this. It looks like we got a little bit of dust in here through somewhere as a hole or something, maybe up top, up in the deck there somewhere. But yeah, this is such a contrast now at this point. So yeah, next up, I guess, is tearing out the rest of the interior here and getting this stuff scuffed up and ready to do the same thing in here. But for now, I'm gonna end this off here. Like I said, very happy with how that turned out. I'm gonna wait a little while before we put the sound skins in there because I want that clear to like harden up and all that stuff and get really, really cured. Because if we ever had to, I'm not sure why we would, but if we ever had to replace that sound skin stuff, I don't want to pull up the sound skins and take the clear with it because that stuff is super, super tacky on the back of it. I'm not even sure that it would even come off. But either way, I want the clear to harden up and cure a little bit. But at any rate, we'll get this stuff out of here and start scuffing it up and prepare it to do the same project. So yeah, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it very much as always. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.